What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to hit our core muscles hard. Bikini season is coming. Spring break is just around the corner, so we need to get ready and get shredded. So I'm going to give you about 5 exercises that you can do that are not overly complicated, but they'll be fun and they might be a little bit different from anything that you've done in the past. So let's get to it. So the first one we're going to do is a cable crunch, which I know I've done before in YouTube videos. I like to go moderately heavy on this, but I would definitely recommend taking it slow to start. If you don't do this correctly, you're gonna feel this in your back. So you wanna be really careful that you're doing this correctly. What you wanna do is make sure that your glutes and your legs really aren't moving. All of the work is gonna happen in the core. So you're gonna feel your torso completely extend up, and then you're gonna feel it crunch all the way down. But this whole part of your body isn't doing anything. It's just kind of holding you. So I like to get away from the machine a little bit, so I have that room. And you're gonna start nice and high and then crunch all the way down. Something to keep in mind, and I know I do this whenever I train core, a lot of times it's at the end of a workout and I want to do multiple sets, I want to do a lot of volume. So what that's going to do is keep my heart rate up. So every time I finish an exercise, I'm going right into the next one, which is keeping my heart rate up, keeping my body moving, keeping my core engaged. So you want to think about doing that and not just kind of dilly-dallying along your ab circuit. So one thing that I do, and I do this with my clients as well, if you have a number in your head, like you think I'm gonna hit 15 to 20 reps, and you hit that 20th rep, and you feel like, man, I have more in me, keep going. Just because you have a predetermined number doesn't mean that that is the number that works for you today. Maybe you went too light, maybe you're just having a really good day. But if you feel like you can do more reps, especially when it comes to abs, get it done. Do the extra reps. And don't forget to breathe. Okay, this one might be a little bit advanced because you have to work on stabilization. So I definitely recommend trying this with like 1 plate on the machine. Like, no joke, go light on this. The hardest part is gonna be stabilization. So we're gonna back it up. I like to have it with a little bit of resistance already on the cable. So I'm actually pushing myself back a little bit. Big thing here is keeping your hips down. So I'm going to show you just from the side. You don't want to be up here with it. You want to keep your hips in a nice hollow position, okay, the whole time through. So focusing on that is going to beat up your core. So I'm going to get into that nice plank. Try and keep the body nice and tight, nice and still, and you're going to pull back. I'm trembling already. I'm gonna switch sides. But the other thing I was kind of like noticing while I was in the plank position, big thing you want to do too when you're in any kind of a plank position, you want your shoulder to be stacked over your wrist. Okay, so you don't want to be out this way trying to hold a plank. You wanna be over top of it for stability. Okay, so switch arms. Okay, so other side. So for this one, you want to set a goal. This is not one you're going to get 15 to 20 reps in. If you do, it's awesome. But you don't want to lose the form. So you want to be able to keep your core nice and tight. You don't want to have yourself swaying all over the place where you're trying to pull. You're supposed to keep it nice and tight. So aim for 8 to 10 at first. If you feel great, you want to move to 12 to 15, that's awesome. But you're probably not going to have to do more than 15 reps on each side in any given set of this. Okay, so the next one is going to be a little bit similar to the one we just did. So the last one we were pulling basically from your face to your hip. This one we're going to pull across the body. So you're going to pull through. So this is going to really fire off the obliques. It's a good one, but the same standards apply. You want to keep your butt down. You want to keep your shoulder stacked over your elbow, over your wrist. So you want to keep all those things nice and tight. Let's get to it. One thing to remember, and I'm noticing it, and it's definitely a good point to make, your core is not limited to the six-pack that you see on your abdomen. Your core extends. It is kind of the central part of your body. Your hip flexors are involved in it. Upper quads get involved in it. Your glutes get involved in it. If you're not squeezing your butt on a plank, you're losing some of your core. You need to make sure that everything is engaged to appreciate that core strength that we're working on. So I'm gonna flip over and do the other side. Okay. Okay, those two exercises are definitely exhausting. All right, on to the next one. The last couple of movements that we did, I told you to go light on the weight and to keep your volume on the lower side as compared to the first one, the first movement we did where I said go a lot of volume, and if you feel like you still have more in the tank, do even more reps. This one is gonna kind of split the difference. You're gonna feel like you can probably do more on this than you did in the last two exercises, and you can definitely go heavier on this. So definitely give it a try. The first time you do it, maybe go a little lighter, but you can definitely add weight, and you're gonna feel it and see why. The weight is what's gonna actually help you do this work. So it's an oblique twist. Plot twist, we're gonna do oblique twist because we've already got them all fired up. So I like to stand out a little bit from the machine so I already have some distance. Okay, arms nice and tight, and I'm facing the machine and I'm gonna straight arm pull, and all of this is engaged. So I'm back to the machine and pull. And I feel that all firing right in here. My obliques are already engaged from earlier. So it's not gonna take much to start feeling it, especially if you do it in this order. Definitely one you can fire up 15 to 20 reps. I don't want to say easily, but you're definitely going to feel like you could do 15 to 20 reps. Don't forget to switch sides. All right. So another thing I'm very big on, I'm a toucher. Take that as you will. I do it with my clients too. If I'm telling them like, you know, you want to engage your triceps, I'm touching their triceps. I'm like, I want you to feel it here. Something like this, like I touched my oblique during the exercise when I first started doing it. That's not just to show you guys what we're working. It's also like, it helps me. Like if I'm like, okay, I'm working here and I'm pulling, I'm feeling it. So something you can think about doing, if you're not doing so already, it's that mind-muscle connection. Touch the muscle that you're looking to train. So in this case, we're training obliques, abs, maybe hip flexors. So touch those muscles, and that normally fires your brain to connect, and you're gonna fire harder. I'm gonna show you a few different ways of doing this. So it's basically a bird dog. So that is probably the easiest way to explain this exercise, but I'm going to do it in the hardest format, and then I'm gonna show you some progressions that will help you eventually get to this point. So we're gonna actually use the cable machine, and you're gonna say, Kristen, you don't use the cable machine when you do a bird dog. I know. This is gonna be a little bit more complex. So I have my foot actually in, it's a handle that I have. So my ankle is keeping me in. I'm gonna come forward. This way, I wanna come forward enough where I can reach my foot all the way back. I'm gonna hold what's called a bear crawl plank. So my knees are off the ground, both knees are off the ground. And then what makes this a bird dog is I'm gonna extend my foot and bring my arm in. So this would be your hardest version. Trying to keep my knee that's not working close to the ground. Okay, the next progression would be, instead of moving, there's a lot of core stability needed for moving, right? So the next progression would be to get in your bear crawl plank and then extend your arm out and just move your leg. So there's less crunching involved in the core. All right, next progression, you're in your bear crawl plank, so my knees are up off the ground, all right? My hands are firmly planted in line with my shoulders, and I'm extending my foot back and bringing it in. So we're crunching with just the leg. Just one leg's doing work, the other one is stabilizing. This is obliques, this is lower abs. Then, if you find that you can't use the cable machine, your standard bird dog a lot of times doesn't even have you off the ground. So you're gonna be on all fours, and you can extend, no cables, and then bring yourself in. Should be a pause on the way out, squeezing that glute. Remember earlier I talked about how important your entire core was, and back in. And then switching sides. Extend, it's opposite elbow to opposite knee. Squeezing that glute the whole time, keeping your core nice and tight. And that is your standard bird dog. So obviously the first version of this I showed you was your hardest version, and then going into your bird dog without the cables is gonna be your easier version. But those are 5 probably more intermediate level abdominal core exercises that you can use, you know, if you have a cable machine at home, or you could do it in the regular gym. I hope you guys have fun with it. I hope you guys like this video. If there's anything special you're looking for to help you get ready for the summer season, definitely drop it in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next one.